Got it. This is, I believe it's Linus Tornqvist.
Yeah. Eric.
Oh, it's Eric Lindqvist.
Yep, Eric Lindqvist. So we'll be waiting for the score from the previous run. I don't know. The judges have got a score yet? There we go, Linus Tornqvist got a 71.33. And there we go, Eric going down the straight.
There we go, Eric nicely done on the initiation. Quite a big angle coming to outside clip 3, transitioning into 4. A little bit decel, doesn't quite get all the way out into it. Around the inside clip for 5, trying to move up to 6 here. A couple of big angle corrections. This is not going to be favorable for the judges as he hits those B lines here. And you want to see that A line sitting nice and deep in these last outside zones. So finishing out the run strong, but will it be enough for a high score? We're not quite sure. We'll have to take it to the judges to figure that out.
And yeah, obviously, like you said, a lot of corrections and a lot of B lines and C lines, which the judges do not want to see, so he will be pretty penalized for that. So we'll be moving on to the next person after we get his score.
Which I believe this will be when we flip him and do the second run. So I believe next we're going to see, oh, here we go. Eric Lindqvist with 2 scores on the board so far, looking at 40s from Arctics and Rise. We're waiting for Tyre to, and that's to 42, so it's going to be a 40.666666667. We're at E36.
100%, a very beautiful looking car. We are pretty biased, but goddamn, does it look good.
Fair enough. Driven by the, I believe, not the owner, but the runner of Driftland, if I believe, the person who runs the events here and coordinates everything. But here we go, Alex Standing taking it for a rip, lighting those tires off early. Big initiation in that first inside or outside clip. Owned outside clip 2 into 3 here. Big angle. We love to see the commitment from this E36. Big transition. Look at that snappy transition. Big flicks into that inside clip. Ooh, dropping a bit of angle. That's going to be a big correction that the judges are going to have to look at, but looking pretty solid through 6. Getting nice and deep into 7, transitioning here into 8. Oh, big angle. Has to reel some out to keep it at 9, but oh man, that's going to be a bit of a sloppier run from him, but it might get him a bit bigger of a score here.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it could be this. It was basically the same run over and over again. It's like he loaded his AI on the wrong setting. But he looks like he does have a score, so you'll see that come up on the screen. And there we go, 52 for Alex Standings on his second run, so his best score will be a 55. But we are moving on to
Or the or the send that he wanted to into that 9th zone. Doesn't quite have that commitment. I think that's going to hurt him in the score here. Judges coming in with their scores, looking at it here. It is not looking favorable just yet, so here we go. We got Artist with a 50. Oh, Artist with a 49, actually. Yeah, Tyre and Rise still coming in with scores.
Yeah, and it looks like judges are being very, very heavy on these scores. Trying to make
That's a 54 from Tyre. Let's see what Rise decides.
And obviously judges being very heavy on scores, so they're trying to give it the biggest chance to do well. And if you don't, you will find out what happened. But you can see Mac O'Rourke in that beautiful A80 Supra waiting to go next once we find out what the score is from Rise. But Dial's just flying that drone about, having some fun. Honestly, a massive appreciation for him coming on board. And there we go.
From Rise, beating that. The average score for Jonas is 50.33333333. But here we go. Mark O'Rourke taking off. Ready to send it in for the run. Hoping we bring the overlay down here as he goes in that first outside zone. Big initiation. Nicely done in the 2 and 3. Big, solid, fluid line, just like you like to see. Transitioning nice and flippy and snappy into that outside zone 4 into 5 for the inside clip. Coming around into outside zone 6. Beautiful job as he comes nice and deep into those touch and goes. Big transition here into 8 and 9. This is the make or break section of the course. It seems like a lot of drivers have been struggling with it, but Mark O'Rourke does it with ease. Finishes that run strong. We'll have to see what the judges think about that one, but for sure, definitely an example run. It looked pretty solid, pretty committed, and that's exactly what the judges seem to be looking for. So we'll have to see how he did in the technical line aspect of things, because you got to remember that the judges want to see these guys on the A lines. That's the reason why all these clips have those 3 lines. Each of those lines.
Should seem to be sending them one by one. We do have a score for Mark O'Rourke, which is an 87.
And we should be getting Sandman's score here in a moment.
And here we go, Simon Sandman's score. Rise really penalising Simon Sandman there. I wonder what he saw that Artix didn't. And we'll wait for Tyre to give his score.
Still waiting for a score from Tyre for Simon Sandman, but it's not looking good here as Artix giving him a 74 and a Rise giving him 65. It'll be all up to Ty to see just how decent of a score Simon Sandman gets here as we wait for him to bring it in. Maybe taking a look at some replays or something, but we are still waiting. You can see, I believe.
by 5 or more points, most likely. So you'll see the judges getting quick to we'll see him come up on the screen, but I don't know, it was a very high committed run, hit all the clips, but yeah, see, as a score is showing 78, just wasn't enough, you know. He needed to push hard, but he pushed a bit too hard.
All right, now we have Eric Lindqvist ready to send it for his second qualifying run. Let's see how he does. You'll see those lights go red and the lights go green, and here we go. Eric's going to take off out of that start chicane. Send it for his second qualifying run here, coming down the straight. Big initiation. We'd love to see it. Nice and committed through that section. Beautiful job coming into outside clip 2 into 3. Could have been a little bit deeper, and same with that clip 4. Ooh, and also comes up short on clip 5. This score might be a little bit lower than Eric is looking for. A couple of little corrections here, coming up to 6. It doesn't quite get onto that A line for 7 either. Into 9 though, looking pretty decent, but finishing up the run, oh man, I just don't think that score is going to be enough.
Yeah, obviously these drivers are pushing very hard, but some are being a bit too tentative, and I think that's what we saw there with Eric. He just didn't push hard enough to the outside line, and it got him a bit, it put him in the wrong place, and it put him offline for the rest of the clips.
And yeah, Ardic's going with a 50.
Full tire going with a 54.
The only judge that's left is Rise here, and we'll see what the final score for Eric Lindqvist is. That's going to be a 55, so his overall score is going to be a 53. That's unfortunately not the score that I'm sure Eric wanted to see. But hey, who knows? Maybe he'll still make it into battles. We still got a whole rest of qualifying to go.
Yeah, so we'll be moving to the next group. As you can see, the standings for qualifying so far: Marco Rugg with an 83, top in qualifying; Simon Sandman with a 79, Linus Tornqvist with a 71, Alex Standings with a 56, and Jonas Danielson with a 51, Eric Lindqvist with his 45. And that's that for that group. The other 2 drivers obviously aren't here today, so we'll be moving on to Group 2.
In Group 2 is going to be Owen Magner, Jackson Lay, David McKeever, Anthony Taylor, Brandon Stacy, James Young, and Lewis Monks, and I believe Jack Cliff.
And obviously a couple of the Irish guys being at LZ Fest right now, so sadly we won't be seeing Owen Magner and of course Lewis Monks here, because they are over there supporting their teammate in LZ Fest.
Sure, for sure.
So yeah, we have what looks to be a low brain Odvier near the start line. I can sort of tell by looking at that front end. But yeah, looking at these beautiful graphics that her stream guy has made, very nice today. And you know, we actually get to stream qualifying today, guys, so please put
yeah, fair enough.
For these guys for doing so well and making sure they fix all the issues and doing it while we're waiting for round 2. So
absolutely.
Yeah, Jackson Lay at the start line representing AOM in that GR86. Obviously has some spinners on the back wheels. He's just showing off at this point. But we see that low brain S13, very sexy looking thing. Obviously that being a very new, well-known car. Anthony Taylor in that zone 1 on the Unit 2, and Brendan Stacy in that Super Doofest 15.
Oh, and then rounding out the back of the pack, one of my personal favorite cars is Cameron Mustard's R32.
Being in that Japsai R32, it's a very nice car.
And here we go. I believe this is Jackson Lay up first in that GR86. You can see the red lights go on. They'll go green. Jackson Lay will be taking off out of that start chicane for his first qualifying run. OMG R86 ready to send it in here. Big initiation. We love to see it. Nice big angle as he comes through outside clip 2 into 3. We love to see it. Big transition into 4 around inside clip. Coming up to 6. Ooh, a couple of corrections here. Trying to send it. Big commitment here. Trying to get nice and deep into that, but just can't seem to find it here. Does find it into outside clip 8 into 9. Ooh, but man, just comes up a little bit shallow for outside clip 9. It looks like that seems to be the problem section of the track for some of these drivers, is that big flick into 8, keeping it on the track and still having the momentum to get through 9. So it's definitely going to be interesting to see how the rest of the drivers stack up to it, but Jackson Lay definitely struggling with it just a little bit. I think that's going to be reflected in his score.
I think a lot of the issue is as well is drivers see there is a decel zone and they're like, oh, brake pedal, and then brake too much and then do not have the, you know, speed to go around that last clip, and it shows.
For sure. Not saying that's what Jackson Lay did, but definitely is a possibility as to what that might be the problem for sure.
Yeah, 100%. We're waiting for the score to show up on the screen while we're looking at that beautiful low brain S13.
And that is David McKeever, I believe.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is David McKeever. Very big splitter on the rear.
We love to see it. It looks like it's set up for a chassis wing. He just doesn't have it on. Guess he's scared of tearing it off on that virtual wall.
And there we go, 56 for Jackson Lay.
Oh, man. And everything, I don't know if there was a tire drop, but definitely adds up for sure, as we're seeing some quite low scores coming in through the first section of qualifying. But hey, you know what, let's see if Mr. McKeever is going to be the one to turn that around. Here we go. You'll see the lights go red, they'll go green, and McKeever will take off, sending it for his first qualifying run. And here we go. There's the light tree, and here goes McKeever. Dials following him in that beautiful drone camera as we get to see this run in a never-before-seen angle here as he sends it in. Ooh, beeline on that outside clip, but coming into these next outside clips here, 2 and 3. Beautiful job here as he's getting nice and deep into these, nice and tight to the inside clip. We love to see that as he's getting deep out to outside zone 6. Big angle, that low brain S13 handling this track quite well. Look at that, snap it into 8 and see how he does to get through 9. Nice and deep, but falls off of it just near the end of it. That's unfortunate. Again, outside zone 9 seems to be the one that people are struggling with. It's like you got to try and get the car rotated, but keep that momentum, and it seems to not be working for a lot of drivers. And you can see McKeever pulling back to the track as here we go. We have Anthony Taylor, newly sponsored by Zone 1 Performance, that GT Radial E92, ready to send it here. That big V8 power. Let's see how it handles this course here. Here we go. Alrighty, out of the start chicane. Before we have a score for the love from McKeever, we have Anthony Taylor sending it for his run. Big initiation, nice and deep to that first outside clip into outside zone 2. Nicely done. Those flashers on and at the ready. Look at that. Big transition into outside zone 4 here. Around inside clip 5 as he comes around that section of the course. Big angle, big commitment as he's coming into this next outside clip here. We're rotating that massive E92 around that course, and look at that, sticks it into outside zone 9. We love to see it. We'll have to see what the judges think about that one, but I believe we're going to go over to David McKeever's score, who we still don't have a third score for, apparently.
Yeah, and I think that might just be a bit of an issue. Oh, there we go.
Here we go. David McKeever gets a 57.6. And then we'll see Anthony Taylor's score come up here, because as I'm looking at the sheets here, here we go. He got an 84.6. I believe that's one of the higher scores of the day so far, and well-deserved for sure. A very committed run for that Zone 1 E92. We love to see it. But next up, I believe we have the Junk Racing S15 of Mr. Brendan Stacy, if I'm correct.
That is for sure Brendan Stacy there in that beautiful Super Doof Junk Racing S15. It's such a beautiful car. My favorite car, I think.
Oh, is it? Absolutely. Yeah. Well, there's definitely a reason for it. It's a very good-looking car and a very good-looking driver. Brendan Stacy sending it in nice and deep, but dropping 2 tires just as I say that. Commentator's curse as he transitions here, coming into outside clip 4. Beautiful job through 5 as he's pulling it through out to outside zone 6. Has a couple of little corrections. Definitely trying to settle into the course. Transitioning here into 8. Let's see if he gets through 9. Look at that. Beautiful job through that, but definitely a little unsteady for that first qualifying run. Thankfully, he's got a second run that he will be able to go and do and hopefully push a bit harder, but definitely going to hurt him with some of those with those tire drops there. I believe that might have been 2, so this could be quite a hit to his score.
Look me out here, Austin. You said you never gave someone commentator's curse, and look what you just did.
Listen, all right, I think I might have commentator's cursed myself. Now I'm going to do it nonstop today. That's what's going to happen. That's absolutely what's going to happen. I'm just going to keep cursing people. Commentator's curse.
And it strikes once again.
Absolutely. Next up, we have James Young, but not before. Hopefully, we get the score for Brendan Stacy. We'll take a look at that here in a moment. And here we go. It's going to be a 60.6666666667. Beautiful. We love to see it.
Yeah, we'll be moving on to James Young's run. So we'll be waiting for them lights to pop up, and then he will be on his way.
Absolutely. James Young also opting to drive one of those A80 Supras. I told you guys, they're super popular this season. Absolutely. Coming out of the start chicane, we'll see how that black and white A80 Supra of James Young sends it in. Beautiful job with that initiation. Nice and committed. A little bit of left foot braking here, trying to keep it into outside clip 2 and 3 into 4 and 5 here. Beautiful job. Not quite as tight as it could be to that first cone there, but trying to get him to outside zone 6, quite deep. A little bit of a correction here, but he's transitioning here to 8. He's in a little bit of that decel to settle the car in, gets into 9 and finishes out nice and wide, just like the judges want to see. And this could be a decent run for James Young.
Yeah, very nice and smooth run there from James Young. Just showing everyone what he's made of. And yeah, there's not much that we see that went wrong there, but the judges will let us know.
Alrighty, and am I seeing this correctly? Do we not have a Lewis Monks this round?
Nope, we do not.
That is unfortunate, but what is still fortunate is getting to see Cameron Mustard in this beautiful Jap Speed R32. I think if that Junk Racing S15 was your favorite car, I think this one's going to have to be my favorite car. We love to see it. That RB powered R32, that Jap Speed performance car, just absolutely, it's style, man. The word here is style. We love to see that car. And here we go. Look at that. James Young gets a 68.3. So definitely some mistakes that could have been corrected. Rise being the harsher of the judges on that score. But James Young definitely still has his second run. So hopefully he can clean it up. But we'll be moving on to Cameron Mustard here in that R32, that Jap Speed car. We love to see it. And here we go. We'll see those lights go red. They'll go good. It'll go green. And you'll see Cameron Mustard take off for his first qualifying run. And he'll be the last of this group, so after this, we'll re-rack him and send them for their second runs. But let's get this guy going here. 1, 2, 3, 4. To the green there, and he takes off. Cameron Mustard ready for this qualifying run. Look at that. Nice little 3-stage, sending it in here. Beautiful job in the outside clip 2. Big angle, big commitment. A little bit of left foot braking, trying to set that car into outside zone 3. Coming into 5, though. Looks nice and tight to that inside clip. Up to 6, though. Let's see how he does. Big angle. Couple of little corrections. This drone camera definitely outlining quite a bit for this run. Big flick into outside zone 9 here. Ooh, falls short just a little bit. Has to make a bit of a correction. Definitely going to hurt his score. Outside zone 9 seems to be the one that the judges are focusing on quite a bit. If you miss a bit of that one, then that seems to be the one that's hurting the scores, because if you miss that one, it means you're going too slow, and they're going to have to ding you for that. But here we go. Cameron Mustard getting 82.6. Absolutely love to see it. At this point, anything above an 80, you're in the upper echelon of today. But now we get to re-rack him and send him again. This is going to be Jackson Lay in his GR86. Falling back on a 56 from his last run. Definitely going to want to improve, so we'll see how he handles this course. Definitely one of our more technical courses, with that center section being super tight for those transitions. So it's definitely interesting to see how these guys handle the GR86, though. Probably having a bit of an advantage being a shorter wheelbase chassis, so being able to transition a bit better, but that does come with it being a little bit unruly. So we'll have to see how Jackson Lay handles it. Alex, what are you thinking of this one?
Yeah, I think Jackson Lay has a good chance here. We saw a bit of glimpse of light come out of him in his first run. I think if he puts it all together in his second run, I think he could be one of the top contenders.
Absolutely, but here we go. Jackson Lay going for that run. Ooh, top of the cone just coming out of the thing. You're all right. You're all right, Jackson. Sending it down the straightaway. Big full lick initiation. Nicely done to that first outside clip. Into 3. We love to see a big angle here into that outside clip. Coming around to 5 here. This inside clip. Nice and tight to it. Ooh, a couple of corrections. Trying to get the car to gain some speed. Going into 6. Big angle again. Just little corrections here and there. We're getting nice and tight to these outside zones here into outside zone 9. This is the make or break one. And here we go. Finishing out the run pretty strong is Jackson Lay. We'll have to see how the judges like that run or not. I think I'm going to predict like somewhere in like the high 60s, low 70s. That was a pretty decent run for sure.
Yeah, and it looks like it's very harsh. But yeah, you are. I think you're right.
High 60s. Look at that. A 68.3 for Jackson Lay. Hopefully that gets him into the show. But next up, we're moving on to this beautiful low brain S13 of David McKeever. Super excited to see how he does here. He's definitely struggled a little bit with that first run, but you can't go wrong with running those big, huge work equip 05s here. Beautiful style out the wazoo car here. Beautiful initiation here as he sends it in. Big send coming into 2, but ooh, just comes up a little bit short on the proximity to the outside line that you want to be on. Oh, and David McKeever loops it around. That is unfortunate. That V8 powered S13 just proving a little bit too much to handle through that transition and just zeroed the run. But hey, you know what? He's going to be a good sport about it, and he's going to send the rest of the run anyways. Unfortunately, that's probably going to be a 0. But hey, you know what? David McKeever making 0 look good. But up next, after David McKeever, now we have our next driver. Currently sitting pretty high up there in the standings for qualifying today is Anthony Taylor in that Zone 1 performance, E92. So let's see how he does here as they're going to light up that light tree. 1, 2, 3 red and 4 in green. Coming out of that start chicane. Gonna send it down the straightaway and see how he handles this here. Big initiation here. Look at that big full lick. We love to see it. A nice smoke show as he comes through outside clip 2 and 3. Transitioning to 4. Little decel, keeping that car settled as he comes around inside clip 5. Beautiful job as he comes up the hill. Nice big angle, reeling it on, really pouring on that angle for outside zone 6. Coming into 7, big transition into 8. And see how he does into 9 here, and he holds it out on that wide line. And I mean, if he gets a good score, he definitely deserves that one for sure. That was one hell of a run. Super flashy, super showy, and I think they're pretty technically impressive as well.
Yeah, and he was already first place in the qualifying score, and now he's just upped it even more, an 85.3. And yes, he's done it again. He's upped the score.
Absolutely fantastic from Anthony Taylor. But up next we have Mr. Brendan Stacy here in that junk racing S15, Alex's favorite car of the day. A little bit of lag here coming out of that start chicane, looking like the car is moving on an axis that it shouldn't. But here we go, big initiation comes into that second outside clip into outside zone 3. That first section of the course nice and wide open, but here we go, got to slow it down, getting into the inside clip. Let's see how he does accelerating again into outside zone 6. Lots of definitely acceleration and slowing down on this track. It's definitely very technical in that aspect, but Brendan Stacy making pretty easy work of it as he finishes out outside zone 9 quite nicely. That's Super Deuce S15 from Junk Racing looking pretty settled here. Alex, what are you thinking?
Yeah, I think that could be a high 70 there coming in from Brendan Stacy, and yeah, 78.66666667. And we'll be moving on to
James Young in that black and white paint splatter 880 Supra. James Young definitely has a little bit to improve here. That high 60s score, he's definitely going to want to get it going here. Move up in these qualifying standings, make sure that he gets a good run. So here we go. The lights will go red, the lights will go green, and we'll see Mr. James Young take off here in that 880 Supra.
Yeah, 100%. And here we go.
Alrighty, out of that start chicane here, James Young. Ooh, tapping the cone just a little bit. It might be a little bit tight for him to get out of there in that big A80 Supra, but it don't matter. He's sending it in anyways, nice and deep into that first section of the course. Gonna get to outside clip 3. Let's see what he does into 4. Big transition, nice and snappy for a big car like that. Nice and tight to that inside clip. Beautiful job as he pushes it out wide. He's got that hood off, showing that 2J power as he transitions out. Big job in the outside zone, 8 to 9. And look at that, nice and committed. Couple of corrections here. It might still affect his score, but you know what? I think that was a pretty decent run. James Young definitely improving off of his last one. We'll have to see what the score looks like.
And Dial's giving us some flips, flying around. And we've got Cameron Mustard warming up his tyres here, getting ready for his run. But we'll see what James Young's score is. And then we'll be moving on.
We're moving on to, again, one of my favorite cars of the event, Cameron Mustard's GTR R32, that Jap Speed RB powered car. We love to see just the style that we get here out at SVDS. I mean, I think we had two like really good style cars in this lobby. You know, we had this one here. We have Cameron Mustard and his beautiful R32, and then we also had McKeever there in his S13. But here we go with a score for James Young. Oh, it actually might get a little bit worse than his last score with a 67.3.
Yeah, and it's just a whole point lower than his last score, so
that's unfortunate. But what isn't unfortunate is getting to see Cameron Mustard sending it in. Beautiful initiation. Nicely done in the outside zone 3 here. Transitioning, big aggression from Cameron Mustard as he's going nice and tight to inside clip 5. To 6 here. Let's see how he does. Ooh, pushing it out wide. Little bit of left foot brake, but nothing too crazy. Transitioning now, going to get it into 8 and 9. Wow, what a run. Setting the example for everybody here at SVDS round 2. Ladies and gentlemen, we hope you're having a great time. That, I believe, was our last driver of Group 2, which means we'll be moving on to Group 3, but not until we see the score for Cameron Mustard, because it's got to be a good one. Dials having some fun showing off the course here for everybody.
And we have a score for Cameron Mustard. This is 77.667, and that will give him his final score.
Alrighty.
So to the next group, which we see the final standings for this group on screen. I think all these drivers can be very proud of just even making it there out there on track and just doing what they do. Anthony Taylor with an 84.67, James Young with a 68.3, Brendan Stacey with a 60.67, David McKeever with a 57.67, and Jackson Lay with a 56. Yeah, and Cameron Mustard with an 82.67. And our next group will be, in our next group, we have Connor Falvey, Connor Aspel, Josh Byrne, Brandon Carr, Arias Montas, Kristaps Rasa, Dominic Bergman, and Robert Wojciak. So a lot of these guys are not here today, so it will be a quite small qualifying group. I know that Connor Falvey is driving an LZ Fest tomorrow, which good luck to him. Hope he does really well, and I know Connor Aspel is there supporting him, same as Robert Wojciak. So that being said, we'll be waiting for their drivers to load in. And yeah, we will be having an ad break while we wait for the drivers, so we'll see you guys on the other side.
safe girl tonight.
Mini skirt on, dip my body in glitter. Platform sneakers, all the boys want a picture. Two foreign cars, I make rich look richer. Save your breath, baby, I'm not going home with ya. Mini skirt on, dip my body in glitter. Platform sneakers, all the boys want a picture. Two foreign cars, I make rich look richer. Save your breath, baby, I'm not going home with ya. Mini skirt on, 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 on. Two foreign cars, I make rich look.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We have come back after the break here. We've loaded in some fresh drivers, getting them ready to take on this course and see how good of a score they can get. So I believe up first, Alex, who do we have?
At first, we have Brandon Carter in his Origin PS13. So we're going to wait for him to go off the line here. Very beautiful looking car. Obviously, one of our sponsors, Frontside Racing.
Absolutely. And I believe Brandon is also our media guy. If you guys have checked out the SVDS TikTok as well as seeing the after movie there that just dropped yesterday, he is fully responsible for those. So let's see if he can drive as good as he edits. Let's see if
100%.
it comes on. Go red, then it'll go green, and we'll see Brandon Carter take a stab at this course. All of these drivers obviously having got quite a bit of practice, trying to make sure that they are freshened up and ready. And here we go, Brandon Carter taking off out of that start chicane for his first run, flying down the straightaway. Let's see how he does. Big initiation, nice and early initiation, just what the judges like to see. Ooh, could have been a little bit deeper. And understeering, dropping 2 tires, coming into outside zone 3, into 4. Now let's see if he can salvage a bit of this run, coming into inside clip 5, coming out to outside zone 6. Ooh, again, a couple of corrections. Brandon definitely not quite super settled into the course. Let's hope that he finishes out this run strong out through 9 and finishing the run decent. Alex, man, I don't think Brandon Carter is in the right headspace for that run.
No, and it's very close to a 0 there, but it just had a bit of understeer, and that's about that. I think that's all she wrote there, but we'll see what the judges think of that. But next driver we have Arias Yamontes, part of Escuco Drift family in that beautiful 400Z. As you can see, the 2 groups up here. But Brandon Carter getting a 0, so there we go.
That is unfortunate. I guess they saw that straighten as a 0. Here we go. Who was this again? Sorry, this is Arias
Yamontes.
Arias Yamontes. Here we go. Arias in this 400Z. I think this is not the first one we've seen this season, but the first one we've seen today. Sending it in, big initiation, possibly dropping a tire there.
Very
outside
close.
So clip 3 area, sending it in, big flick, coming into inside clip 5. Look at that though, keeping the line consistent, lighting that smoke trail up into 6. Beautiful job as he rounds that corner into 7. Look at that, big transition coming into 8 and into 9. Nice and committed, but could have been a little bit deeper and is definitely going to hurt the score for sure.
Yeah, 100%. Very smooth and consistent run. Just making could make a couple adjustments to be further out in some places. And yeah, that was a decent run there from Arias Yamontes. We'll see what his score is. But our next driver on the start line is, I think, Dominic Bergman or Kristaps Rasa. I can't really tell, but and it's
it is
Kristaps
going to be
Rasa.
Massa. It's Kristaps.
But yeah, we're waiting for Arias to score here. And here we go, we've got a score.
Alrighty, Kristaps Rasa and that A90 Supra. Ready to send it in. I believe this is the first A90 we've seen today. A couple of firsts in this lobby coming into the outside zone 2 and outside zone 3. Nicely done. Big transition. These A90s are known for being very smooth and having quite a bit of forward bites. Let's see how he rockets up into outside zone 6. That car is moving right now as it gets into outside clip 7 into 8. Big transition as he gets into 9 here. Look at that. Beautiful job. Absolutely fantastic run from that A90 Supra of Kristaps Rasa. We'll see how the score gets put down here. And look at that, we have our score for Arias is a 48. Ooh, judges again being very strict. There's got to be some sort of mistake that we're not seeing up here in the booth that they must be.
Yeah.
But hopefully we'll also get a score here for Mr. Rasa, Kristaps Rasa. Let's see how they go.
And of course, since there wasn't that many drivers in the other group, we have merged 2 groups together. Oh, and there we go.
An 83 for Christoph Rosso. One hell of a score. Not quite beating out Anthony Taylor, who I believe is still our #1 qualifier. So up next, who's this here for that Escuco S15 there, Alex? Who's that?
This is Marcel Szynski. That was one of our top drivers last season, and has come back for another season here, winning some rounds last season. So we'll see how he does here in qualifying for his first run.
Here we go. Marcel Studzinski out of that start chicane, firing it up the straight here. Marcel moving quite quickly. Big initiation. Look at that, right on the wall. Up 2, and it looks like it's going to be a 0 because of how much that slowed him down. But hey, you know what? He's being a good sport about it, and he's going to send it around the rest of the course anyways. Moving up to 6. That S15 gaining quite a bit of momentum. Unfortunately, momentum seems to be what has killed the cat here on this run, because he did ascend it off the course with that momentum at the start. And I think that's going to be a quite easy 0 for the judges to describe, or it might be like just a score, but it might be a low score.
Yeah, as I'm pretty sure it's 3 wheels off as a 0 here. So, but moving on, I think that is Axel Toplin waiting at the start line. But we are getting the score for Marcel Szynski. Yeah, so we're getting a score for Marcel Szynski. They go 51.
51.3.
So as you see, Arias Shamonta's getting a 45 and it's Marcel getting a 51. So we'll be moving on to Axel Toplin.
Alrighty, Axel Toplin, and I believe that's an IS300. We haven't seen very many of those. They're usually not exactly a favorite drift chassis, but hey, you know what? We love to see it firing those flames out of the hood there. Absolutely insane to see. Big transition into 4 coming around these inside clips. Look at that. Beautiful job from Axel here as he's coming out to outside zone 6. Couple of little corrections, a little bit of wavering here from that IS300, but nice and deep and outside clip 7, transitioning nice and strong into 8 and 9. You know, he's got the makings of a good run. I don't think that was the run just yet, but I think that's definitely the makings of a good run. And I think if he just tightens it up just a little bit, he'll have a fantastic score. But we'll take it over and we'll see how good of a score he got on that run.
Yeah, 100%. And it looks like we're waiting for one more judge to give a score. But and there we go. We have a score for Axel Toplin, and it is a 62.333. So we'll be moving on to Joe Valla in that 180 SX.
Joe Valla in a very nice looking 180 SX, might I add. Love to see the big style, big big wheels. Love to see it. Well, it looks a bit more like a street car showing up here, and that's pretty sick to see. Somebody with a bit more, street-oriented style. I mean, it is a smaller, tighter technical course, so street cars do have an opportunity, but something tells me that that's not exactly a street car under the hood. But here we go, big initiation into his outside clip 1 and 2. Big aggression into 3, couple of small corrections. Could have been on the B line there, but coming into inside clip 5. Beautiful job as he comes around up to 6 here, firing it up that hill. See, I told you, this thing ain't no street car underneath. This thing is fast, man. It's coming around outside at clip 8 into 9. Beautiful job angling up just towards the end there. Definitely has, again, the makings of a great score, but maybe needs to tighten it up just a little bit, but we'll see what the judges say about it for sure. Might be a pretty good average here. We're still waiting on a score from Ty, and there we go. I believe we're going to show it here in a second, but Joe Valla getting a 74, and I think that's the first. I think that's the first score today that hasn't been like a point something. That is a flat 74. We love to see it from Joe Valla. A pretty solid run. But here we go. Up next, who's this, Alex? Who's this rolling up to the line for us?
This is Kieran Bond.
Here we go, Kieran Bond looking pretty solid at that initiation with that hood off, showing that 2J power, party in the back with that wing. Big transition, beautiful job on those outside clips into the inside. Look at this, just super fluid, super committed. out to this outside zone 6. A beautiful job for that A80 Supra transitioning here. Nicely done into those last outside clips. Ooh, could have been a little bit deeper in 9 though, but hey, you know what? That was a pretty good run from Kieran Bond.
Yeah, very
Absolutely.
nice run there.
Fantastic showing. For sure. Oh, we got an IRT car coming up, but not before we see an 80.3 from Kieran Bond. Pretty solid run. Definitely could be a little bit to clean up, but hey, he's doing fantastic so far. Anything, like I said, today it seems like anything above an 80, you're in the upper echelon today. So only just, but he gets above that 80 mark and is going to be in some of those top guys there. So this IRT S15 ready to send it here, and this is who exactly? I believe this is Daniel Andreev.
Yeah.
Oh wait, they're switching them around.
Yeah, looks like it'll be Jesse DeSantos in front of him.
Ah, Jesse DeSantos. In what looks like an R35? Is that what I'm looking at? Is this a GTR? This is a GTR R35. We do not, I don't think we've seen a single one of these in competition just yet. Well, not in competition, but in our competition. Looking pretty solid to outside zone 2, coming into outside zone 3. Pretty unique build as he flicks it around for outside clip 4 into 5. Nicely done. We could have a little bit more angle, a bit more commitment, couple of corrections here from him, but hey, you know what? He's looking pretty solid for sure here, coming into 9. Let's see what he does. Nice and deep, finishing out the run strong. Wow. Man, Jesse DeSantos, what an interesting build and an even more interesting run. We'll see what the judges think about that one for sure.
Yeah, and we'll be waiting for the score there, so next will be Daniel Andreev, but we'll be waiting for that score for the judges to come in. Obviously, Rye's already put in a score, just waiting for Artix and Tyre. Daniel Andreev in that beautiful Nissan S15.
Those IRT guys definitely know how to drive, and I'm excited to see how they handle the course.
Yeah, and it looks like we have a score for Jesse DeSantos. And it's going to be a 0 there for Jesse.
Oh, it's going to be a 0. Unfortunately, there must have been some mistake that the judges didn't see. Maybe he didn't quite initiate where he should have. We did mention that we want to see drivers initiating before that line, so we'll have to, we'll definitely have to figure out what was going on there. But here we go. Nicely done into that first outside zone from Daniel Andreev here. Beautiful job in outside zone 3. Transitions here. Big angle through inside clip
Very
5
nice.
and moving that car out. Daniel Andreev putting on a masterclass, showing everybody what you got to do to get a good score here as he gets through these outside clips. Big transition. Ooh, snappy into outside zone 9. And look at that. Keeps it nice and deep.
Very
Exactly
nice.
what the judges want to be. And I don't know, man. I don't want to be no Jared Dienda here, but I think I might be calling a top qualifier here. This guy, if anybody is going to beat out Anthony Taylor and that 84, it's going to be this guy. Daniel Andreev, one solid driver and has been on one since last season for sure.
Yeah, 100%. And I think he will get a higher score here. I do honestly think it. And yeah, we have a score.
87.3 from Daniel Andreev, finally knocking down Anthony Taylor into that second place position with Daniel Andreev here in that top qualifying spot. And hey, you know what? We're starting to get into those drivers that are getting close to those 90 scores. So maybe we might see one before the end of the day here.
Yes,
But
so now
who's this here?
we have
It's,
Gert in the JZX 100.
Gert Kubarsep. I am probably
Very
butchering the
big.
pronunciation of that last name.
No, you definitely are.
Absolutely.
But anyway, we're moving on. We'll see how he does.
JZX 100 Chaser again, not a car you see a lot of. Definitely not one that's super popular here at Driftland, but definitely one to watch out for. You know, these Chasers can definitely be some of the most competitive cars on track if you know what you're doing with them. And hey, you know what? Those Blitz 03s add style points immediately. But setting it in, beautiful job here from Gerd as he gets into outside zone 2, coming up to 3. Big angle here, transitioning. Let's see, moves that 4-door around like it's a tiny little S chassis, getting around that inside clip, firing up to outside clip 6. Beautiful job is getting those big angles here, transitioning here into outside a clip 8 and into 9. Ooh, falls short just a little bit there towards the end of outside clip 9. But hey, man, this is a really interesting car to watch drive, and I think that's going to be a pretty decent score for him. Maybe not the best, but definitely a decent score for sure.
Yeah, 100%, and we'll be seeing a lot of people coming up short on that last clip. As you say, you have to get the right trajectory into it, sort of come off the outside line and then go back onto it in that zone. So it seems that a lot of people are making that little mistake there, but 69 for Gert Kubasep. So we'll be moving on to Brandon Carter's second run.
That was quite a nice score from Gert Kubasep. And
yeah.
We'll be re-racking the drivers and second runs here. Brandon Carter, who I believe is sitting on a 0 right now after quite a big mistake in his first run. Let's hope that he can put it together. I told him before this event started, I told him, listen, Brandon, I'm gonna need you to get in this round. I want to see you on comp day. I want to see how good you can drive. And I know that a lot of the times the biggest mountain of a weekend of drifting for these guys is qualifying. So as long as he can get over that mountain, he should have some smooth sailing through battles, have a good time tomorrow. But he's got to make it in today, and let's hope that second run will do that for him here as the lights go red, the lights will go green, and Brandon Carter takes off, spinning those wheels, coming out of that start chicane and firing it down the straight in that PS13, that Origin Lab kit, looking super aggressive. Big initiation, nicely done in that first outside clip into 2. Ooh, a little bit of wavering here, but oh, what's going on?
Oh my god!
Oh my god! Call the fire brigade, get the ambulances. I think we just saw somebody die.
Oh, and the judge is looking.
Oh, that is unfortunate for Brandon Carter. Did I do the thing again? I think I did the thing again where I gave him the commentator's curse. Told him that he had to make it over. I told him that he had to make it over a mountain, and he took it a little bit too literally.
Oh my god.
Oh, that is unfortunate for Brandon Carter. Oh, I'm choking myself up here. Oh, that is unfortunate to see. Arias Yamontes in this 400Z has a tough act to follow for sure, with Brandon Carter hitting that kick flip. Let's see if Arias goes for that 360 flip. Here we go. Nicely done in that first outside zone. Or not first outside zone. That was outside clip 3, but now he's coming in through inside clip 5, going up to outside clip 6. And I'm still just a little bit bewildered here, but Arias definitely doing a lot to calm my nerves as he's sending one hell of a run. But ooh, falls up short on outside clip 9, a little bit more than we've seen from, well, pretty much anybody. I don't think I've seen anybody come up that short, but that's unfortunate for him. Dial's phasing his drone through reality, going under the track there.
But
oh man,
it's like they have another score for areas coming up. They're waiting for one more judge, but very bad. I'll have to see from the judges.
There we go. It's 67 for Arias Yamontes here, sending it into his A90 Supra of. I'm like on the name. It's Christoph Rasa. That's right. We love forgetting that. Oh, and just as I say it, he goes for that mountain too. Hey, listen. Brandon did not lead by example. Please do not. Okay. Rasa also figuring that qualifying is a mountain to climb and goes for just a little bit of a mountain there to drive up and over. Unfortunately for Rasa, that is going to be a 0. That's unfortunate. I think we've seen more 0s in this group than anybody else so far. That's unfortunate.
Yeah,
Marcel Marcel Studzinski in this Escuco S15. Ready to send it here for his qualifying round. Let's hope this one isn't a 0 as well. Big initiation. Nicely done in that first outside zone. Not dropping tires. Looking pretty good. Outside 2 and 3. Big transition here into 4 and coming around inside clip 5. Lots of clips coming up. Very tight and consecutive here. But coming into 6. Beautiful job here. Marcel Studzinski doing a fantastic job and showing us exactly what we need to do as he massages it through clip 9 and finishing out the run strong. Absolutely phenomenal job from Marcel Studzinski, and he knows it too with that beautiful little burnout.
Yeah, I think this could be a higher score here. I can already see high scores coming in for this run. But Marcel doing the run of his lifetime there, trying to do the best he possibly can. And it looks like we have a score.
85.3 for Marcel Studzinski. I believe that's also going to outdo Anthony Taylor, pushing him down to 3rd place.
I think it's the exact same score as Anthony Taylor there.
Did Anthony get an 85? I thought Anthony got an 84.
An 85.33.
Oh, well, look at that then. It's going to be a tie, but here we go. We have that IS 300 of, I believe this is
Axel Toplin.
This is Axel Toplin here, looking pretty solid here through these outs. Oh, but just as I say that, look at that commentator's crew. I told you it's gonna happen all throughout qualifying. He just as I was about to say, he's looking solid into inside clip 5. He goes a little bit wide, but hey, you know what? The rest of this course is looking pretty okay. I waited till the end of the run to say that, just so that I couldn't mess him up even farther. Sorry about that, Axel, for not only forgetting your name but also cursing you into eternal damnation of missing clips.
And next we will have Joe Valla, but Axel Toplin getting a 44.667, which that is on the edge there. I feel like that will be one of the lowest scores, but he does have a 62, so he could make it. This judge is being very harsh today, so we could see some low scores getting in.
Absolutely, but Joe Valla here in this 180 SX, or maybe a 240, I'm not quite sure. Oh, you know what? It's left-hand drive, so it is a 240. All right, he's sending it in. Beautiful job into that first outside clip, but looking to look a little bit of a correction between 2 and 3. Coming into 4, though, big snappy transition, wrapping around 5. Look at that, pushing the car out, looking quite quick, quite fast into outside clip 6. Ooh, a little bit of a correction. It's going to put him on a bad line. But hey, you know what? He fixes it and he gets into these outside clips, finishing out number 9 and subsequently the course. And hopefully that's a decent score for Joe Valla, although I don't know that it's going to be any better than his first run.
Yeah, and I think, the judges are really very, very, very tight on the scoring today. Obviously, that slight mistake, you will get a big deduction. Here we see, I'm pretty sure it is Kieran Bond.
Yeah, this is Kieran Bond in his A80 Supra. No livery. Don't need one with a 2JZ sticking out that hood. You don't need livery.
Yeah,
it's all we're going to be looking
Valla.
at. A 47 for Joe Valla, so I guess that big line correction is definitely what knocked his score down. But here we go. Kieran Bond in this A80 Supra has a pretty good score to fall back on. Let's see it. Wow, big initiation, but he's dropping tires. Ooh, one tire off into the dirt. 3-wheeling through that section of the course, but transitioning now, hoping to clean up the rest of it. Coming nice and tight to inside clip 5. Flying it up wide, getting into outside clip 6. Beautiful job, but could have been a little bit deeper into it for sure. But transitioning here into, he almost over rotates it, drops 2 tires off that white line. And I think with a total of 3 tire drops, this score is not going to be fantastic here. But hey, you know what? He's got a good score to fall back on. Kieran Bond had that really good first run, so hopefully this one doesn't affect him too much.
Yeah, and it looks like the judges have already got a score. Sadly, it will be... we'll wait for the score to show up, but it will be a 0 for Kieran Bond there, dropping 2 tires. So it is 2 tires to 0, if I correct myself. So here we go, Jesse DeSantos in that R35.
Alrighty, Jesse DeSantos in one of the more unique builds of today. Big initiation, nicely done. That first outside clip into outside zone 2. Beautiful job into 3. Let's see how he transitions into 4. Using that little decel to keep that car rotated. Quite a big car to be driving around this track, but hey, he's making it look easy coming into outside clip 6. Look at that. And he transitions here into these outside clips. Big job into outside clip 8. And listen, I know that I metaphorically said that qualifying was a mountain, but we got to stop actually climbing mountains here, guys. Come on now.
Yeah, and it looks like that's going to be another 0 there for Jesse DeSantos.
Man.
That means he double zeros.
Oh, unfortunately, that'll put him at the very bottom of the list, which means that unless we have more zeros, I don't think he'll get in.
So obviously Jesse DeSantos joining Brandon Carr down there with the double zeros, but we'll be moving on to Daniel Andreev.
Daniel Andreev, not the person you'd expect to go for a doubles for any sort of 0 at all, really. So he's definitely, I think he's topping qualifying right now so far. So let's see how he does on that second run. Will he be able to make that score a 90, or will he stay in that 80 range? See how he does here. Lights go red, lights go green, and Daniel Andreev coming out of that start chicane. Firing down the straight in that Nissan Silvia S15. Big initiation here. Look at that. No, I think it picked up a wheel. Did you see that freewheeling on that initiation? Yeah. Pretty solid into outside clip 3. Big transition into 4 as it comes around 5. Look at that. Just a master class in how to get this car moving. Ooh, little bit of a straighten out there. Not straightened, but definitely didn't have as much angle as he could have had. But hey, you know what? He's looking pretty solid. Ooh, sending it, having to make a big correction into outside zone 9 and finishing out the run semi-strongly, but definitely has a lot to clean up and is probably going to fall back on that first. But hey, you know what? We're not judges, and we'll see what they come up with for that second run.
Yeah, 100%. I think he's doing well there, but there is a lot of mistakes the judges do pick up on in these runs, and I think the live stream doesn't do justice, as these guys are looking very closely overhead, looking at the back wheels, where they're going.
Absolutely.
Wheels.
Coming up a little bit shallow here, though, but trying to come around that inside clip. Look at that, trying to find the momentum to get up into 6. That chaser definitely struggling just a little bit to find that outside line, and ooh, big transition, probably on the concrete, or sorry, possibly on the concrete. And will be considered a tire drop if it was. That is unfortunate, but hey, you know what, you gotta respect him for being able to take such a big car around this track. Well, that dial's just styling on us, flying through our power tower there. Oh, there we go. That's a trademark name. Should we try and trademark that? Call it the Driftland Power Tower.
Driftland Power Tower.
Right, the Driftland Power Tower. We'll set up a booth in there and host little short clips and YouTube videos up there. We'll call it the Power Tower Power Hour. There we go. I wonder if whatever city this thing resides in. Look at that, he's flipping through the electrical tower as we wait for a score on our final driver there of this group.
Yeah, and we're waiting for the next group to jump in as well. And
that's a 17.3. That's unfortunate, but we'll get our scores for hopefully the whole group. It might be a little bit hard to get all of our group up here. I don't think there's a little bit more than 8 drivers in this one, so we'll allow. Okay. Alrighty, well, we'll get those scores up on the screen for you guys to see. And Alex will read them out. And then we'll, I believe we'll cut to commercial to load in our next group.
Yep. So, I think we'll get the scores up on the screen. So here we go. We have Kristaps Russell with an 83.67. Brandon Carter with his 00, and Arias Montes with a 67. So that'll be for the first half, and then for the second half, you have the scores haven't loaded, but I will read it out for you guys. So we have 85.33 for Marcel Szczecinski. That will most likely put him in 3rd or 4th place. And then second run, Axel Toplin with a 62.33. Joe Valle with a 74. Kieran Bond with an 80.33. Sadly, Jesse Dos Santos with a 0 on both runs. Daniel Andreev with an 87.33 and Gert Kubasep with a 69.67.
Absolutely. We're going to cut to ad break while we load in our next set of drivers. Stay tuned, guys, because the action will only get more exciting.
Girl tonight.
Skirt on, dip my body in glitter. Platform sneakers, all the boys want a picture. Two foreign cars, I make rich look richer. Save your breath, baby, I'm not going home with ya. Mini skirt on, dip my body in glitter. Platform sneakers, all the boys want a picture. Two foreign cars, I make rich look richer. Save your breath, baby, I'm not going home with ya. Mini skirt on.
skate girl tonight.
Mini skirt on, dip my body in glitter. Platform sneakers, all the boys want a picture. Two foreign cars, I make rich look richer. Save your breath, baby, I'm not going home with ya. Mini skirt on, dip my body in glitter. Platform sneakers, all the boys want a picture. Two foreign cars, I make rich look richer. Save your breath, baby, I'm not going home with ya. Mini skirt on.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We have loaded in our next group of drivers for SVDS Round 2 qualifying. We're excited to see how these drivers stack up, and it looks like we've got an IRT guy straight off the rip. This will be, I believe, Vitaly Izev.
No.
We're gonna.
Yeah.
Is it not? I thought it was Vitaly.
I don't know if it's Danielis or Vitaly.
No, it looks like Vitaly. He's first up in the qualifying order.
Vitaly, so there we go. Yeah.
Alrighty, hey, look at that. I was right for once. Alrighty, Vitaly Izev in this A80 Supra, ready to send it here for that first qualifying round of this group. Dials lined up, ready to follow him in with that drone camera. Getting a nice, cool shot of that IRT sponsor on the side of that car. We love to see it, but here we go. You'll see that light tree go red, and then it'll go green, and we'll see Vitaly send it for his first run. Doing some spins, doing some flips. Absolutely love to see it. Some beautiful cars in this lineup, some S chassis, POWs, all the works. Actually, I think there might be one car in this lobby that isn't an S chassis or a BMW. Well, no, I guess unless you include Vitaly here. But here we go. Judges should be sending them here any moment. Oh, you should be sending it here. Alrighty, lights go green. Here we go. Vitaly Izev ready to go Firing out of that start chicane, ready to send it down the straightaway here. Big leg initiation from Vitaly, nicely done into that first outside clip. Look at that, cool, calm, collected, set on that line, set it and forget it. Big transition here into this inside clip. Coming nice and has to straighten it up just a little bit to gain the speed to get into 6 here. Big angle here as he's sending it into outside clip 7. Big transition as he gets into 8, following up with 9, finishing out the run strong. So I think that little correction after 5 might be the only thing that really dings him here, but otherwise it's a pretty solid run.
Yeah, and I think I don't want to jinx it here, but that could be another top step run. I know the top step right now is an 87. Pretty sure from Mark O'Rourke, so it could be it. And it just misses it. It gets an 86.33, so he'll be just under.
And who is this? Is this a Miata?
Yeah,
we love to say it. Well, I guess that's only what we call it over here. For you guys, it's just an MX-5. But who is that in that Miata, that MX-5 there?
That is Kenneth Casey.
Alrighty, out of the start chicane here is Kenneth Casey, firing it down the straight here in that little MX-5 that could. Big initiation, look at that. It could be a little bit deeper, and too much angle from Kenneth Casey. That is unfortunate. Gonna be a good sport about it though and send it for the rest of the run. Get some practice in while he can here, and hopefully he shows up on that second run.
Yeah, and obviously little MX-5 means little weight and it rotates very quickly, so I think he's struggling with that.
Alrighty, and yeah, it looks like that's going to be a 0 for Kenneth Casey, which means we're moving on to the other IRT driver, which is, I believe this is Danielis Perengauskis, I believe this is. Alrighty, well, Danielis sending it out of that start chicane, firing it up the start chicane. Here we go, sending it, beautiful initiation into that first outside clip and outside zone 2. Look at that, nice and set it and forget it line, transitioning into outside clip 4 into the inside clip. Beautiful job as he rounds it out to try and get up and out into outside clip 6. Wow, just what a line here. Coming out into outside clip 7, transitioning into 8, a little bit of a decel as he comes into outside clip 9. Look at that, what a fantastic run here from Danielis. What an absolutely fire run. I can't believe I just called that a fire run, unironically.
Oh my god. And there we have a score for Danielis there.
An 80.6.
So we'll be moving on to Caden James.
Caden James in this V8 powered Ferrari 5.9. Wait, is that the Ferrari or is this the Aston? I know there's two.
It's the Aston.
It's the Aston, is it? Is it the Aston Martin?
Yeah.
Man, Caden James in a V8 powered Aston Martin. Absolutely insane car. I thought it was the Ferrari. I wasn't sure, but this is the Aston Martin as he sends it in. Beautiful job of the outside clip 2 into 3. Look at how much angle this thing carries. Big snappy transition through outside clip 4. Nice and tight to the inside clip. Super exciting to see this car do as well as it's doing right on that wide line that the judges like to see. Super deep into that clip. It could have been a little bit deeper transitioning now, getting into clip 9. Falls short just a little bit towards the end, but doing a fantastic job. What an amazing run from that Aston Martin. That is incredible to see that thing drive as well as it is. Caden James in that Aston Martin. Wow. And a 76 from him. Rise being the harsher of the judges here. Beautiful job though. Absolutely fantastic.
Mr. Anastas or Darius. It's Anastas. So
it's Anastas Jakuboulis. Ernestus Jakuboulis in that S14, firing out of the start chicane, sending it down the straight. Big send into that by Ernestus, sending it into that second outside clip. Beautiful job. Look at this, just absolutely set on that line into the inside clip. Beautiful job as he comes out around this outside section of the course, tries to get into this outside zone. How's he going to do? Wow! Rubbing his bumper against the bank of grass as it seems. He says, I'm not climbing no mountains today. I saw what happened to that last group, and he's on a one today. Absolutely on a tear.
Yeah, and we have a score, and I think we have a new number one qualifier with an 88.6 from Anestas there.
Wow, what a fantastic score, and I think that means that's going to be the new top qualifier.
Yeah, and that's that for that group, so we'll be moving on to the next group, which is Jack O'Toole.
Jack O'Toole here, or Jack O'Farrell, I guess. That's how he's listed.
O'Farrell O'Toole.
Jack O'Farrell O'Toole. For that Anthony too. Hey, you know what? He's sending it anyways, no matter what his name is. Big flick into outside clip 4 into this into that 5th inside clip. Looking really solid. Ooh, a little bit of a correction there as he adds on some angle to get through outside clip 6. But hey, coming into 7, he's looking really solid. Transitioning into 8 and 5, sending it nice and wide around the end of that course. Beautiful job, for sure. Alrighty. And then I think the final driver of the first runs here is coming up. The pink wheels on that car looking pretty sick. Liam Scale. I'm just gonna call him Liam. This is Liam. Just Liam. We don't talk about the rest of his name.
In the Evo.
Alrighty, Liam looking really solid in that Evo 10 as he fires out of that start chicane. Not a common car. You see, he goes into the wall pretty hard. It looks like that's going to be a big deduction, if not a 0 on that run so far. But hey, you know what? Like I said, he's going to be a good sport about it. He's going to finish the run here as he flies around.
Brake light on the
I'm
wing.
sorry, is that a brake strip on the wing? We love to see it. Big transition here into that outside clip as he comes around 9. He's looking pretty solid.
But yeah, that wall hit will make it 0, so you'll have to send it hard in his next run. So next we'll be moving on to Adam Hardman. That S15.
Oh, Adam Hardman, you said? Alrighty. Adam Hardman in that S15 gonna get ready to send it here. The lights go red and they go green, and Hardman setting it up for the final run of the first runs here of this group. Here we go. Adam Hardman gonna send it in. Big lick initiation, a little bit of a handbrake drag, get that car settled into outside zone 1 and 2, coming into 3. Nicely done from Hardman as he transitions hard, man, into that outside clip 4. Looking pretty solid as he fires it around this section of the course, sticking on that wide line, just like the judges like to see. Getting into outside clip 6, looking pretty aggressive here. Transitioning into 7, or transitioning to 8, and finishing out 9 as he finishes up the run nice and strong.
So that's the cringiest thing you've ever done, Austin.
Listen, all right, I'm a commentator. I gotta be cringy. I gotta think of jokes on the spot, and unfortunately, that means they're not gonna be good jokes.
That was hard, man.
Listen, I didn't intend to say it, but the opportunity showed itself quite nice.
Yeah, and obviously it was a pretty nice
Looks a pretty decent score there for Adam Hardman, but here we go. We're going to move on to the second runs of this lobby here, and that's going to be, the first one is Vitaly Izev coming out for another run. This IRT A80 Supra definitely proving to be one hell of a chassis is that A80 Supra. So let's see how he does. Vitaly ready to send it here, and those lights will go red, 1, 2, 3, and then they'll go green for that 4th light, and that's when drivers are clear to send for their runs. So here we go. Dials moves around, gets into a good position for the start of this run. Dials, a very professional FPV drone pilot, managed to figure out how to get it working on Assetto Corsa, and luckily we managed to snatch him up and get him a contract for SVDS to come here and drone cam the stream. So definitely looking pretty sick, and we're hoping you guys are enjoying the stream so far. We know we've had our hiccups, but hey, we're a brand new series. This is only season 2. We're figuring it out and we're getting things sorted. Absolutely fantastic from all of our drivers for putting up with us, and everybody on the stream for being, you know, nice about it, you know, enjoying the stream, but despite the technical hiccups, you know, we're trying to keep it good, we're trying to keep it solid, and we're gonna send these drivers and have a good time, because that's what it's all about, you know. Drifting, even in competition, is about having a good time. If you're not having fun, you're not driving right. I don't know what else I can say to bridge the gap between these runs here, but here we go. Finally, the lights go on, the lights go green, and here we go. Vitaly Isev for his next qualifying run in that A80 Supra. Here we go. Big initiation here as he flicks it in. Look at that, right up on the wall, right on the white line. Could have been a tire drop, but we couldn't quite see it, but looking really solid on those outside clips. Big transition into 4, round 5. Look at that, nice and tight to that inside clip. Not quite running the cone over, which is exactly what we want to see. Looking really solid into outside clip 6, big angle into 7, transitioning into 8 with that little bit of decel to get the car rotated here into that outside clip 9, and finishing out the run with a textbook lead run. Absolutely fantastic here from Vitaly Isev. I think that might be a really good, really good qualifying run.
Yeah, and I think the judges are really going to like that one, depending if he dropped a tire on the outside.
For sure, a very technically impressive run.
But we'll have to see. The judges are really enjoying this one. They're analyzing it, making sure he didn't drop a tire.
Absolutely. But up next, we have Kenneth Casey, currently sitting on a 0. Had a bit of a mistake in that first run, but here we go. Vitaly Isev with an 88.3. Absolutely fantastic score, but we still haven't seen anybody crack into the 90s yet. I mean, we had 2 judges give him a 90, so we're getting close here. But here, Kenneth Casey trying to make up for that 0. Let's see how he does here. Big flick initiation, nicely done into that first outside zone. Comes up short for outside zone 2 and straightens up. That's going to be a double 0 for Kenneth Casey, unfortunately. This car just looks like it's got a little bit too much grip and not enough power. It looks like it's just struggling quite a bit to keep itself sideways on the track. You know what, though? You got to give them props. I mean, Miatas are not exactly easy cars to turn into pro drift cars. They're great cars to start drifting in, but not a lot of people make them pro cars, and there is kind of a reason for that. They're not exactly easy cars to drive when you slap 1,000 horsepower at them and send them around a course. But yeah, you saw it become official there. That's going to be a second 0 for Kenneth Casey as we move on to our next driver, which I believe is Danielis Parangauskas here in his IRT BMW F22. We saw him get a pretty decent score with that 80, I believe, 0.6, was it? Yeah, it was 80.67. So here we go as he sends it out for that second qualifying run. Let's see if he can improve on his score. Big flick initiation, nice and deep onto that wall. Look at that, rubbing that tail light into it. Look at that, solid into outside clips 2 and 3, transitioning into 4. Look at that big angle into inside clip 5. We love to see him as he comes up towards 6 here. Let's see how he does, massaging it right into the crevice of that edge of the road that we want to see. Look at that, absolutely fantastic into outside clips of 8 and 9. A very technically impressive run and quite stylish, might I add, too. So I don't want to jinx anything, but this might be our first 90 of the day. That was just a fantastic run.
And there we go, we have a score for Danielis Parangauskas, and it is an 88.333.
Oh man, again, we're just like, we're almost there. We are almost there.
It seems
almost
like
got a
I
90 today.
don't want anyone to get a 90 plus today, but
absolutely not. But hey, we have got Caden James here in his Aston Martin, sending it here out of that start chicane. Let's see how he does. He had one hell of a run in his last run, so let's see if he can do any better. Big flick initiation as he sends it out nice and deep, and oh, it's going to be too much as he sends it off the course. Oh, I think it's going to be a 0 as that might not have been chaseable whatsoever as he wraps around that inside clip. Man, this thing is fortunate, man. Caden James, this car is super aggressive, super sick to drive when you stop really go. Oh, and he over rotates it again. It's unfortunate. He's got I mean, I guess his first run might have been all he had in the tank today, because this one might have just been a little bit too harsh there for him. So we'll see how he does tomorrow, if he makes it in, because he did get a good score on his first run, I believe. Did he? No, did he get a 0 on his first run too?
Yep.
I could swear he did better than that, but all right. Well, I guess that's a double 0 for Caden James. As we move on here to Ernestus Jacoboulos.
Yeah, and Ernestus here to prove a point, as I'm pretty sure he's the only team driver for Erta here today, as Darius Ostraka is overdoing some other comps. But he's here to throw down a blinding run, so let's see it.
Alrighty, here we go. Ernestus Jacoboulos. Let's see how he does. We'll see the lights go. Oh, I think Rives might have just teleported back to pits. Oh no, there he is. He just disappeared out of the camera shot for a second. Oh. Yeah, it's weird. It like disappears at the corner of the screen. And there we go. Let's go green here. And Ernestus Jacoboulos is going to send it here. Ernestus, that beautiful S14 Sylvia. Quite a simple build, but not simple underneath. Look at that big stand. Oh, small tire drop, which is going to hurt the score. But hey, you know what? He's going to send it anyways. Big flick into outside clip 4, into the inside clip. Beautiful job coming up the hill into outside clip 6. But absolutely fantastic run. Just sending it here as he transitions into clip 8, finishing out with 9. And what would have been a fantastic run is probably going to be stained a little bit by that tire drop there on the first section of the course, which is unfortunate. But hey, you know what? He's got a pretty good score to fall back on, his last score being an 82, I believe.
Despite the tire drop, I think if he didn't drop a tire, he would have had a 90 plus, because he has a score, and it's interesting.
An 82.33. So it was still a really solid run despite the tire drop. So I guess he's still got a pretty good score here, being able to pull off that. You know what sucks though is that thinking about it now is that if he was able to pull off an 82 with a tire drop, that might have been our first 90 if he didn't have one.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
But here we go, Jack O'Farrell in that R32, sending it in, big initiation as he sends it wide to this outside clip 2. Beautiful job coming into outside clip 3. That R32 looking really solid as he transitions, coming around those outside clips and inside clips. That firing it up the hill into outside zone 6. No correction this time, just reeling it on nice and smooth, looking beautiful on that white line into clip 7, transitioning into 8, looking pretty solid for 9. Beautiful job from that R32 of Jack O'Farrell.
There we go. We have 2 more drivers, yep. But that is going to be an 81.333 for Jack O'Farrell there. So,
again, Rye is just being the one to not let anybody get more than an 81. All right, but here we go. Sending it into that initiation here is Liam Liam looking pretty solid in this Evo 10, being a little bit hesitant here as he's trying to put down a run after that big wall contact on his first run there. Liam looking really solid into outside zone 6, but could have been a little bit deeper as he gets into clip 7 and coming into 8, transitioning, getting into 9 here as he goes nice and deep. It finishes out the run pretty strong, but will it be enough?
Will it be enough? That's the question we've all been asking, but can he do it? And yeah, it looks like he has a score. 69. Perfect run there.
Perfect 69. We love to see it. Absolutely fantastic. Both of those numbers looking fantastic right next to each other. You know, nice scores, 69. But we have Adam Hardman here, the source of all of my funny puns, but Hardman is sending it in. Beautiful job through outside clips 2 and 3, transitioning here, not big slowdown, but a slowdown into outside zone 4. Inside clip 5 looking really solid. Beautiful job here into outside clip 6. Adam Hardman looking really good through 7, transitioning into 8, coming up to 9.
Very nice.
That was absolutely fantastic. You know, that run was real hard, man. That was sick.
Oh my. So
I'm going to keep doing it just to make you mad, Alex. I'm going to keep doing it. I'm going to keep making the hard man puns.
Wherever it is, guys, stinks. But
right?
80. Here we go. We've got a score an 84.667.
84.6.
So he improved on his last score by 0.66, but we have a guy that hasn't done his runs yet, Peter Ballarado.
I'm sorry? Peter Bellarado. An interesting name for sure, but Peter sending it in. Beautiful job on that first. Sends it off the course. I'm sorry, why did we let this guy run again? No, I'm kidding. I really am. Peter looking really good on the inside clips.
He's going to bully you for that.
Absolutely, he is definitely going to bully me for that. You know what? I have no room to speak. This man looking pretty solid through the rest of the course. Definitely can clean it up on that second run, and I really hope he does. Peter Bellarado. Bellarado. Chilling in old Monte Carlo.
Yeah, well, he'll be coming around to do a second run, getting to do 2 runs back to back.
Alrighty.
So here we go. Wait for the start light to go off, and here we go.
Peter Bellarado coming out of that start chicane. Let's see if he can handle this run and rein it in a little bit, because he did send it off the course in that first run. But hey,
there we
go. A little
go.
bit hesitant of it this time, coming up a little bit short on the clips. But hey, as long as he gets a score on the board, he's going to be looking up pretty solid. Beautiful job of that inside clip as he fires it up the hill, trying to get into the outside clip 6 and looking pretty solid doing so. Beautiful job as it gets into outside clip 7, maybe a little bit shallow, but we're not quite sure. Coming into outside clip 7 or 9 and finishing out the run strong. Beautiful job from Peter Bellarado.
And a very nice run there from Peter. So it looks like he'll be getting a decent score from these judges. And there we go, 73.667, and that'll be the end of that group, and we'll be going to the next one,
which has grown in size as I'm looking at it, actually.
Yeah, it's full of all the people that decided not to turn up to their groups, so we will be going to them, and Styles has given us all motion sickness. So here we go. Wait for them to load in.
We'll get our qualifying scores from this group up.
Ladies and gentlemen, and there isn't, some of these people in this group ain't no slouch, so we'll have a very nice last group, and then we can all go to bed, because that's all I'm thinking about right now.
Already. And I believe him. Yeah.
I want you
sneakers, all the boys want a picture. Two foreign cars, I make rich look richer. Save your breath, baby, I'm not going home with ya. Mini skirt on, take my body in glitter. Platform sneakers, all the boys want a picture. Two foreign cars, I make rich look richer. Save your breath, baby, I'm not going home with ya. Mini skirt on. Two foreign cars, I make rich look.
Escape girl tonight.
sneakers, all the boys want a picture. Two foreign cars, I make rich look richer. Save your breath, baby, I'm not going home with ya. Mini skirt on, take my body in glitter. Platform sneakers, all the boys want a picture. Two foreign cars, I make rich look richer. Save your breath, baby, I'm not going home with ya. Mini skirt on. Two foreign cars, I make rich look.
Escape, girl, tonight.
Mini skirt my body in glitter. Platform sneakers, all the boys want a picture. Two foreign cars, I make rich look richer. Save your breath, baby, I'm not going home with ya. Mini skirt on, take my body in glitter. Platform sneakers, all the boys want a picture. Two foreign cars, I make rich look richer. Save your breath, baby, I'm not going home with ya. Mini skirt on.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for sticking with us. A little bit longer of an ad break. Apologies for that. But hey, you know what? It's because we were loading in our next group of drivers. We have merged our last two groups. We have this last group of some very talented people and some people who didn't quite make it towards the beginning of the day. But they're here now and they're ready to send it. So for our last group here, welcome back to SVDS. Excited to see who we have first here. Alex, who's lined up there in that beautiful vehicle?
That is Roberto Camisoni in that GR86, a very nice looking car.
All right, and I will be pronouncing none of that name correctly, but Roberto is how it goes. Let's go.
Just say Camus with Oni on the end.
Camisoni.
Yeah.
Alrighty, Roberto Camisoni in that GR86, ready to send it for that first qualifying run of the lobby. Here we go. We'll see the lights go red, and you'll see it go green, and that's when Roberto is clear to send in that beautiful GR86 to see it. Just waiting to send him here, Roberto Camisoni. Sounds like a pasta.
Wow.
Yeah,
Is that because he's Italian?
Sauce. Wait, is that a... No, wait, hold up.
Wow, Austin.
I didn't realize he was Italian, okay? I was just pointing out the fact that anything that ends with oni sounds like a pasta. Oh, man. Oh, man. I think I was just accidentally incredibly offensive. Damn, I am Jared Dienda.
Oh!
Wow. Oh man, accidentally saying things incredibly offensive. Such is the game of the commentator. Sorry, Camisoni. Sorry, Roberto. My bad.
Yeah, wow, his name sounds Italian. He must be Italian.
No, actually, I didn't say Italian. I said it.
No, I know. That's what I mean. You started listing on the top Italian foods, man.
Yep.
But we're waiting for these guys to go. SpongeBob.
Alrighty, Roberto Camisoni is gonna send it down the straight here. Big flick initiation. Roberto looking pretty solid into that first outside clip into these outside zones here. Roberto looking pretty good, but comes up shallow on outside clip 3, transitioning for inside clip 5 here. Will he be able to reel that car out into the outside zone 6 here? Big angle check up here as he sends it into outside zone 6. Doesn't quite get deep into 7 here as he goes for 8 and 9. Looking pretty solid towards the end of the course. Definitely has the makings of a good run. Hopefully he can a little bit better on that second run, but hey, you know what? He'll get a pretty decent score, I think, for that first run. To see what the judges think about it for sure.
And to be honest, I'll have to look at the sheet to tell who this is because I have no idea. So, it's Roman Protsiuk.
Okay, so Roman. We gotta love. We have a beautiful lineup of drivers from basically everywhere on this planet, and some of them have names that are hard for us English guys to pronounce. So Roman here in that BMW, I believe that's an M4, sending it in here. Big initiation, nicely done in that first outside zone. Ooh, comes up short on that second one, trying to get into that third one, looking pretty good. Transitioning into 4, not a ton of tire smoke here, shows that he's not quite committed to that throttle. Ooh, straightening up through the section, and narrowly avoids climbing that qualifying mountain. And looking solid into the outside clip 8 and coming up short for a 9, so definitely a lot to clean up for that second run. But hey, you know what? I'm rooting for him, Roman. You got this.
From the look of it, and like everything, that could be a stock M4.
Fair enough. Or you might have just hit a button that made his turbo a little bit too low. Hey, Robin, if you're watching the stream, check that your turbo's got more percentage. Just make sure that you got enough power to slide that thing around, eh? On 11.6. I think that's the lowest score that isn't a 0 today.
No, someone got a 7, remember?
Somebody got a 7? I thought it was a 17.
I don't know. Actually, it might have been a 17.
I think Roman's got the lowest score. You know what? Hey, you know what? That's a trophy in and of itself, all right?
Wait,
All right, so who's this in this beautiful A90 Supra showing up here today?
That is...
All right, this A90 Supra of the person we can't pronounce, sending it in. Beautiful job into that first outside clip. Doesn't quite make it to outside zone 2. Comes up a little bit short on 3, but hey, transitioning decent into outside zone 4. Nice and tight to that inside clip. Coming up to the outside clip, that A90 Supra looking pretty solid. That beautiful blue and pink livery looking absolutely stunning here as they transition here into outside clip 8. And ooh, dropping 2 tires and coming up shallow on clip 9. That is unfortunate. Did we ever figure out what the name was?
Vsevolod Tissambalenko. Yeah, I don't know. They're playing some weird chess match over there.
Zevolod. I'm gonna go with that. Zevolod. We're gonna and that V is silent. Zevolod. But hey, you know what? This right here, this is Seth Miller in this BMW F22. So let's see how Seth does here. Spinning those wheels on the line here. And here we go, Seth Miller off the line out of that start chicane, ready to take off for his first qualifying run. Big initiation here. Let's see how he does. Getting nice and deep into that first outside clip. It could have been a little bit deeper. Beeline in that second outside clip, but looking solid into 3. Transitioning nice and strong into 4 and wrapping around 5. Looking pretty solid as Seth Miller as he comes out towards this outside clip 6. Looking fantastic here in this F22. Definitely could be a little bit more aggressive, but throwing down a beautiful run nonetheless. Seth Miller, pretty decent run at F22.
Yeah, 100%, and that and put him a decent score in for him to do. And next we will have Danny in that GR86. If you want to call him his real name, it's Daniel Bokov. Danilo Bokov.
Danilo Bokov.
Danilo, I think.
We're gonna call him Danny.
Yeah. Hi, Danny.
Hello, Danny. Danny here in his GR86. No livery to be seen. Don't need one. Car looks pretty on its own here. Ready to send it off the line here as those lights will go red and then they'll go green here. Dial's looking pretty solid with his drone camera. Gonna be sending it here with him. That's one. I believe. Nope. Never mind. The light is not on yet. Dial's trying to give everybody motion sickness before this run.
Here we go, and he's gonna flip.
Dials, if you can hear us, do a flip.
He's getting ready for it, like he's gonna turn around.
Still waiting for Danny to send his run. I think we're waiting on a score for Seth Miller as why.
And it looks like I think one of the judges has forgot to put the score in. Then years later.
Right? Why don't we, oh, that's what we need to get for the stream blackout is we need the blackout for the record is our streamer. But we need those SpongeBob title cards, like the 5 minutes later or like the 10 minutes later, 30 years later. Not exactly 30 seconds later.
Yeah, and it's got
Alrighty. And a 77 for Seth Miller, meaning that we can finally send Danny in that GR86 ready to send it here, flying down the straightaway. Big initiation. Oh, I just, wow.
Oh my
Okay. I was going to say, big initiation. It looked like he was going for a nice flick, but instead he just goes straight off the course. Man, that is unfortunate for Danny there. Just going to have to go to a second run, unfortunately. But next up here, who is this in this beautiful S14.9?
They haven't got their actual name in the sheet, but it's Anx141.
Anx141. Well, I'm not sure what their actual name is here, but sending it in. Big initiation, big angle coming into outside clip 2. Nicely done into 3.
Very
looking
nice.
Pretty solid to transitions into outside clip 4. Look at that, nice and tight to that inside clip, and ooh, a little bit of a wavering. It's going to send him a little bit wide, putting a tire up onto that rumble strip, but coming into outside clip 6, nicely done with that S14.9, looking good, transitioning into clip 8 and filling out clip 9, and what a solid run. That was pretty good from the man with no name.
Yeah, 100%. So next, I'm pretty sure we have Connor Duggan after this guy. Okay, Connor Duggan will be running last in the group, so we will have Luis Zanata to the line next.
Luis Zanata.
And we have a score for Anx. It's very impressive as well.
An 80, a flat 80 for Anx141, and that's what we're just calling him. All right, no real name, just Anx141.
I think he's just a bit anxious, you know.
Listen, all right, if I can't make hard man jokes, you can't make anxious jokes. All right. Off limits. Don't do that ever again.
Alright, Luis Zanata, here we go.
Luis Zanata in this public car S15. That's one of the beauty things of this series, is that you actually don't need your own car to compete. It's definitely favorable, but if you don't want to use your own car to compete, you do have access to the SVDS car pack as well as the VDC 3.0 cars if you decide to compete in one of those. So it is well and truly open to everybody. As long as you carry a pro license and you've paid the entry fee, you should be able to make it in. And Luis Zanata showing that off right here with that public VDC S15. Ready to send it here. Dials going back and forth. Following, waiting. Big flip. Ooh, that looked like a roller coaster move right there, going up and then spinning it around. Oh, that looked pretty good.
And he doesn't see the light.
He unfortunately doesn't see the light. Somebody doesn't have their PP filter on correctly. And here we go. Luis Zanata. Ready to send it here, flying up the straight in that S15. Let's see how they... Oh. And I guess they're calling a restart on the run. Zanata, I guess, having a little bit of trouble with that start light. All right, Luis Zanata coming out of that start chicane, gonna fire it down the straight and hopefully actually initiate this run. Big full initiation, a little bit of a handbrake drag, get the car rotated in, looking beautiful into outside zone 2 and into 3. A little bit shallow there, but just trying to keep that car on the rails here. Looking solid around that inside clip, sending it wide out into the outside zone 6 here into 7. Little bit shallow there, but you know what? Putting out a pretty solid run. Looking pretty good into outside zone 9 and finishing out the run pretty strong. Good job, Zanata.
Yeah, and he will be getting a decent score there, and I think he will qualify quite decently in our 32.
For sure. Next up, though, we got a driver that is a personal friend of mine. Super sick driver in that 4-rotor powered Mazda RX-7. Renewable lubricants. That is KMR William Holloway. And here we go. We have a score for Luis Zanata. It's going to be a 75.667. And here we go. William Holloway taking off. Ready to send it here. And, oh, we're on the right camera. It's okay. William Holloway setting it in. We see it anyways. Big initiation. Fire coming out of the hood. That fire-breathing rotary sending it in. Beautiful job around that first section of the course. Big transition into outside zone 4. Beautiful job around that inside clip. Man, it's on one today. William Holloway looking really good as he gets into outside zone 6. Big angle as he's sending big commitment into 7, transitioning into 8. Beautiful job as he holds it nice and deep in outside zone 9 for what looks like it's going to be a pretty solid score. William Holloway in that KMR Renewable Lubricants Mazda RX-7. Absolutely love to see it. Love to see him driving a lot better. I mean, last season he still did pretty decent in that MX-5, but I think the move to the RX-7 was definitely the right move for sure.
He has a score.
It's going to be an 84 for William Holloway. Fantastic run from him, which will put him in a decent standing for tomorrow. And next up, I believe this is Mr. Connor Duggan.
This is Tyler Moore.
This is Tyler Moore. Where is Connor Duggan?
Do not like.
This is Tyler Moore, sorry?
Never mind, it's Justin.
It's neither of these people. It is Justin Philibar. We have our notes entirely backwards. It's Justin Philibar and his S15 ready to send it here down the straightaway. Big initiation here as Justin sends it in right up nice and tight to the wall. Gets out to outside clip 2. Beautiful job painting the line as he comes up a little bit short for that outside clip 3. But hey, looks pretty solid into 4 and 5 coming out wide. Looking really good coming out to outside zone 6. Falling just a little bit short going onto that B line, but looking pretty solid into 7, into 8, and finishing out with 9. Looking really good as he crosses that finish line.
Yep, and that's the end of the first runs for this last group. So they'll be throwing them around, and we'll be going back to Roberto Camassoni. And this time, they will not make any offensive magic.
I solemnly swear to stop referring to him as pasta.
But anyway, here we go. Roberto Camassoni. Hopefully, the judges can start turning these off quicker so we can get to to tomorrow. So
Justin
here we go.
58.667. It looks like he might have had a tire drop. Or a checkup somewhere that we might not have seen. But hey, Camassoni, Roberto Camassoni, or Sony. Play it on PlayStations, ain't no Sony, it's Camassoni. Roberto Camassoni. See how he does here.
2,000 years later.
Right? We are waiting for the judges to finally send this guy.
See, this is why I think the commentating team is way better than the judging team. You know, I think we should take the judges' pay. You know.
Getting ready to send Roberto.
Here we go, finally.
Here we go, Roberto out of that start chicane, that GR86. Camassoni gonna send it down. What did I say? I said GR86, yeah. All right, setting into that second outside zone, 3-wheeling because he dropped the tire, coming to the outside clip 3 and 4 into 5 big angle.
Oh,
That's too much. Has to send it. Oh, what is happening here? It looks like
he's turned into an Irish person, Ringsland, and he started doing donuts. Wow. Okay.
he might have disconnected there mid-run. That might have been why it took so long to send him. It might have been some lag issues there. Unfortunately, I believe that's going to be a 0 for his second run.
Yeah. And next we have your favorite name, Austin.
Oh. Zevalod. Zevalod!
Oh, no, we don't. We have your
no.
other favorite name.
Which one's this one?
Roman.
Oh, this is Protswick. Civic. All right, Roman ready to send it here in his BMW M4, and it's definitely gonna send it a bit harder here. Big full lick initiation, getting into that first outside zone. Still looking a little bit underpowered, trying to get through outside clip 2 and 3, coming up a bit short. Transitioning just a little bit late into outside clip 4. Gets into it. Ooh, sending it quite wide. Barely gets that car out to outside zone 6. Dropping a tire again. Just not quite having the angle or the aggression that he needs to get through this section of the course, but looking pretty solid through outside zone 9. But I'm not sure if that one's going to be or not there.
Well, I think BMW's accidentally sent one of their test cars onto the track. Because it drifts good, but it looks like it just doesn't have the power, and it looks like it's struggling with that. As you can see as well, it still has the full interior inside that car, so yeah, it's a stock BMW there. And here we go, we're going for another BMW.
Haha. Funny joke.
BMW Z4, here we go.
Zevalod in that A90 Supra, that Toyota A90 Supra.
I mean, B58.
So all right, sending it in. Zevalod here, looking really good in that outside clip. Beautiful run so far in outside zone 3, looking pretty good. And outside zone 4 and inside clip 5, looking really nice. That A90 Super carrying quite a bit of momentum. Going to go to outside zone 6. Fell up a little bit short there. Could have been there, but looking pretty solid here. Transitioning nice and deep into these clips. And ooh, might have fallen a little bit short there at outside clip 9, but the judges love to take a look at that. Zevalod Simbalenko.
Yeah, these new BMWs tend to handle quite well, and they're very nice to drive, so he obviously does that, and he's putting down a very nice run.
Alrighty, a BMW that is going to handle well, and a BMW that is a BMW. Seth Miller here in his F22 after we get a score for Zevalod. Apologies for butchering the name, but how could I not? Like, if anybody in the chat can tell me how exactly that's pronounced, that would be awesome. But until then, Zevalod Simbalenko has got a 60-point run. But here we go, Seth Miller. Ready to send it out of that start chicane of that BMW F22. Firing it down the straightaway. Let's see how they do on the initiation. Big flick, nicely done on that first outside clip, getting nice and deep in outside zone 2. Here we go into 3 and 4. Big transition. We love to see it. Looking nice and tight to that inside clip. Look at this. Nice and aggressive here from Seth Miller as he gets out to outside clip 6. Beautiful job. Moving into that outside at clip 7 and 8 into 9 and finishing up the run pretty strong. Fell a little bit short at the end there, but definitely massaged it out to the outside.
Very impressive.
Good second run, Seth Miller. Alrighty. This next one, this is Danny in his GR86. Now this man had a bit of a hiccup on the first run. Hoping that he makes up for it on the second.
Yep.
Alrighty, it's an 80.6 for Seth Miller. again, Rise just being the one to not want anybody to get a good score here. If anybody has any grievances with their scores in qualifying, please take it up with the man himself. But here we go, Danny in his GR86, ready to send it here. Big full lick initiation and actually keeps it on the course this time. Sends it into outside clip 2 and into 3. Looking pretty solid as Danny here as he transitions into outside clip 4 into inside clip 5, and looking really solid as he comes around out to outside zone 6. Danny, beautiful job in that GR86, just trying to keep that car nice and sideways, nice and strong, and committed into outside zone 9 and finishing out the run pretty strong as Danny.
Very nice there. There we go. They have a score.
It's gonna be a 59 for Danilo Bolkov. Listen, okay. I'm only Canadian, all right. Alrighty, here we go. Sending it in as Angst in that S14.9. Beautiful job into that first outside or second outside zone. Dropped tires though on that first section of the course, but coming around inside clip 5. Looking really good as he comes out to 6. Beautiful job here. Big angle from that S14.9, going into 7, transitioning into 8. Looking really solid through 9, but I think the tire drop is definitely going to hurt his score, and he's definitely going to have to probably fall back on his first one, but we'll see. We'll see.
That is the hardest I've seen someone throw it into that first corner. I'm not going to lie. Personally, I think he should be rewarded for that. That was sick.
That is a 72.667.
So, we'll be moving on to the next driver,
which is Luis Zanata once again. Alrighty, lights going green. Zanata sending it in that VDC S15. And here we go, big initiation. Zanata looking pretty solid on that start of the course, looking good into outside clip 2 and into 3. Nice and committed, a lot better than the last round, looking really good as they transition into 4 and 5. Coming into 6 here, let's see how they do. Big angles, they're wrapping it around. Just look at that, set it and forget it on that white line, exactly what you want to see. Transitioning into 9 and looking really good. Absolutely fantastic run from Zanata. I can see why they've got fans in the stream chat for sure.
Very nice.
Alrighty, up next is our... Oh, wait, here we go. Luis Zanata gets a 79.667. A pretty solid run for sure. And here we go, William Holloway in that KMR Mazda Tricks Renewable Lubricants RX-7 and sending it in here for their second run here. Big initiation is William Holloway, nice and decent into that outside zone. Ooh, paint in that white line, trying to get out to the outside zone 3. Beautiful job transitioning into 4 and 5. Absolutely fantastic job. That Canvas Racing driver looking really good out on that wide line. Look at that. Fantastic job as he gets out into 7 and 8. Let's see if he can hold it on 9. Look at that. Right there on that wide line. Exactly where he wants to be. William Holloway from KMR, everybody.
Yeah, a couple of corrections here and there, but a very nice run. That being said, and there we go, he gets a score. And it will
78.667. This time Thurhey being the one not wanting anybody to get a good score.
There we go, Justin Phillip Bar, last run of the
Alrighty, for our last run of the night, Justin Villamar firing out of that start chicane in that Snap-on Tools S15. Big full look initiation, nicely done on that start line. Beautiful job putting the tire right where it needs to be on those outside clips, transitioning into outside clip 4 and around inside clip 5. Maybe a little bit tight there, not what the judges want to see, but otherwise a pretty solid run so far. Getting out to that outside clip 6, could have been a little bit deeper, but transitioning from 7 to 8 now. Beautiful job reeling it into 9, and that is gonna do it for our final run of qualifying. Let's see what he gets as a score. Judges will be taking a look at it here. Waiting on a score from Ty and Ardix. For a score from the judges. Apologies for this last run taking so long here. All right, listen. I know everybody's falling asleep waiting for Justin Villamar's score here. Hey, you know what? Just a reminder that tomorrow is our top 32, starting at the very same time. If you're in Eastern time, it is 1 p.m. Not sure what it is over there in the UK, Alex. What time does it start tomorrow for you guys?
It starts at 7 p.m. British summer time.
Absolutely. So be sure to tune in tomorrow as we've got dials showing us exactly how the start cone works there. But hey, you know what? Make sure to tune in tomorrow as we've got a beautiful lineup of drivers. Absolutely fantastic talent being shown today. We got the ups and downs of everybody here throwing down pretty good runs. Had some zeros and had some really good runs here. So make sure that you tune in tomorrow for top 32 as it's going to be one hell of a run. But here we go. We should have a score for Justin Villamar here in a second. Oh, and it looks like it's going to be a perfect 70. All three judges giving Justin Villamar a 70, meaning it's going to be a full perfect 70.000. Absolutely love to see it. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for tuning into qualifying today. SVDS Series 2, Round 2 only gets better tomorrow. So once again, mark it on your calendars or mark it in your phones or on your alarm clocks. I don't know, but make sure you're awake and ready for tomorrow. We're at 1 p.m. Eastern or 7 p.m. British or English, or I'm not sure. But 7 p.m. over there. Or 1 p.m. Eastern. Make sure to tune in because it's going to be one hell of a dogfight. Thank you very much, everybody, for tuning into SVDS, and I think that's going to do it.
Girl tonight.